right now on Fox 21 News at 9.
Disabled hunters getting help in the efforts for catching big game.
Wisconsin making its mark on Christmas at the nation's capital.
Donations pour in for a Northland organization educating people across the globe on black bears as people give to the max.
I'm Maya Holmes in Superior, where a plaque was dedicated for a local Marine.
Training time in Duluth as city crews prepare for the first major snowfall of the season. I'm Jacob Kittelstad reporting live.
This is Fox 21 News at 9.
Good evening, everyone. On this Friday, I'm Dan Hanger.
And I'm Deanne Alexander. Gently floating to the ground, the first snow to blanket Duluth finally sticking around, but it's only a precursor of what's to come.
Jacob Kittelstad live outside now in the powder. Jake, the snow is long overdue.
Go. That is correct, Dan and Deanne. This accumulation comes about 2 weeks after the average. A late start sending city crews out to the streets. The plows scrape, the salt falls on the first flakes frosting Duluth streets, but less than 24 hours ago, city workers train without snow on the heavy rigs.
Yeah, about 38,000 pounds, got different characteristics. You got to remember, and you know, you slide like anything else does. It's just a lot heavier and a lot bigger.
Thanks to La Nina, meteorologists predict a very rough winter for the Northland. These machines will battle the snow dumped on the region, pushing where other equipment cannot. And although these new operators make some mistakes on their obstacle course, crew leaders say they're prepared.
Usually the biggest challenge is not with our operators, our equipment. We're usually ready to go. It's what happens to the public. Everyone has to learn how to drive in snow again.
Park cars. People have, forgot about the alternate side parking. And it makes our job really difficult.
The average number of snow events when the machines are quickly sent out comes out to 23. Last year, it was 36. And with worse expectations for this season, it doesn't look good for city salt expenses, once just $37 a ton.
And it's $63 a ton this year, so the costs have gone up significantly in a relatively short period of time.
Exploring cheaper, environmentally friendly alternatives, Duluth and its heavy equipment operators say although they deal in the problem snow causes, they love it. After all, without it, they'd be out of career.
It's just part of your job. It's what you signed up for.
Duluth could expect to see as much as 4 inches of snow tonight, and Fox 21 meteorologist Jason Sadeko says in parts of Wisconsin that could be even bumped up to 6 inches. So Dan and Deanne, much more in his forecast.
All right, thank you, Jake. Well, snow is to blame here for a number of crashes actually in the region tonight. Conditions resulting in a crash near Pewabic, causing some serious injuries, we're told. The car heading east when it lost control on the snow-covered road, hitting a tree. That snow looking so nice on all the trees out there today, as we just saw.
It did paint a nice picture of what's to come this winter, though, Jason.
Yeah, it absolutely did, and there is definitely a lot more to come in a shorter period of time. We're talking about tomorrow. Again, we'll have more details on that in a little bit here, but I think now is a good time to start packing those emergency kits. A few more ideas for you to put in there. A small shovel, hand warmers, and extra clothing would be great ideas to toss in there in case you happen to get stranded out there. Well, we've seen that snow make its way through already today, still blanketing us in clouds as well. Main patch of moisture passing off to the east for us, though. Temperatures holding steady in the upper 20s to mid-30s for some locations out there, and we'll drop off into the low 20s for the majority of us tonight with a few more passing snow showers out there. So a fairly average day for us, but this weekend will be fairly unaverage, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit.
Okay, looks good. Thank you, Jason.
Yep.
Well, a tree in Superior standing a little taller today.
That's right. Veterans and family members gathering to place a plaque on a tree for a Marine killed in Iraq. Fox 21's Maya Holmes on the story.
It's just so special. It was beautiful, just a beautiful tribute.
Veterans and family members dedicate a tree in the memory of Marine Lance Corporal Adam Van Alstine.
If it wasn't marked, it was just a tree. But now people realize that that tree was planted in memory of Adam.
Every time we drive by this tree, we always look at it, and so now to know that other people will know what it's for is just really special.
The tree was planted at Superior High School after Adam was killed in Ramadi, Iraq by a roadside bomb in 2006. He was just 21 years old.
He was always fun and laughing and joking and making the best out of every situation.
Don says dedicating the tree at this time of year holds special meaning.
And he loved the fall. He loved to hunt. He loved to be outside. And so to do it this opening of hunting season is just even extra special.
Family members say they hope the tree will not only honor Adam's memory, but also give hope and inspire Superior High School students.
If they really hear his story and then know that he accomplished, his goal always was to be a Marine, and he had to overcome a few obstacles to do it because of his choices.
The Malice Springs snow crab white tree is no longer just a tree. It now has a plaque for a soldier who died for just ideals, people of the world, and to keep his memory alive.
His voice, his smiles, his hug, all of it.
With photojournalist Harry Baker, I'm Maya Holmes, KQDS Fox 21.
The tree was planted by Superior's American Indian program. A Christmas tree from Wisconsin is heading to the nation's capital. The tree, selected from Schroeder's Forever Greens in Neshkaro, will soon be on display at the White House. The tree was the grand champion in this year's National Christmas Tree Association's annual contest. Co-owner Tom Schroeder saying he couldn't be happier.
We're just pleased to represent the Christmas tree growers across the nation, and I couldn't be happier.
It'll be presented to the First Lady, Michelle Obama, next Friday.
Wisconsin hunters heading into the woods for their annual search for that 30-point buck. The state's deer hunting season lasting 9 days starting Saturday morning. Last year, about 630,000 hunters went out to their stands and blinds, but DNR officials predict the expected good weather means more kills than in previous cold seasons.
People have to go back to work or for a variety of reasons don't go hunting, don't participate. So over the course of the years, we know that about 60% of the deer that are harvested during our 9-day gun season are harvested on opening weekend.
About 60% of harvested deer are taken in on opening weekend. Disabled hunters in northeast Wisconsin are getting some good news. They'll no longer have to navigate rough terrain when they want to go shoot some game. At the Department of Transportation and Wisconsin Waterfowl Association transforming nearly 200 acres of land to make it more accessible to the disabled.
To have a piece like this as close and as accessible to a large metro area as it is really something special.
More trails, more blinds, and a forest restoration project are in the works in the coming months.
The Superior National Forest partly backing off plans to eliminate the lottery system for issuing Boundary Waters canoe area entry permits. The Forest Service saying today it'll keep the lottery for the popular entry points on Fall Lake and Moose Lake near Ely. It'll take applications for those permits December the 19th to January the 20th and run the lottery through January the 20th. I should say the 19th and then the 20th. But anyway, Forest Service officials saying they decided after hearing comments to keep the lottery for Fall Lake and Moose Lake, where most of the permits had been historically reserved by the lottery. We are just getting started here on Fox 21 News at 9.
Here's a look at what's ahead on the rundown. The investigation into how Hollywood star Natalie Wood died reopening after new information comes to light.
Plus, a new report that's showing skinny people are eating more than those who are overweight.
Why the defense demanded a mistrial for a Two Harbors bus driver facing charges of inappropriately touching students.
And a game that's smashing records. Years ago, a Hollywood movie star accidentally drowned, and it still isn't clear how. Now, Los Angeles police are taking another look at the death of Natalie Wood. Jonathan Mann has more.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty.
One of Hollywood's classic leading ladies, one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries. Authorities in Los Angeles say they've reopened the investigation into the death of actress Natalie Wood.
Recently, we have received information which we felt was substantial, enough to make us take another look at this case.
Star of such classic movies as West Side Story and Rebel Without a Cause, Wood drowned 30 years ago, Thanksgiving weekend, during a boating trip off the California coast. Her husband, Robert Wagner, and actor Christopher Walken were on board at the time. The coroner ruled Wood's death an accident, but the circumstances have always been mysterious. The boat captain, Dennis Davern, co-wrote a book about the night that Wood drowned. He said her death was a direct result of a fight with Wagner.
Then the argument went to the aft deck, and they argued back there for a little while, and then it became silent. I was trying to believe that maybe she really did, and just in a rage, maybe she just really got in the dinghy and went ashore. Then I said to Robert Wagner, I said, well, you know, let's turn on the searchlight to see if we can see her. And he says, no, we don't want to do that right now.
Is Robert Wagner a suspect?
No. Wagner's publicist says in a statement, the family fully supports the efforts of the L.A. County Sheriff's Department and trusts they will evaluate whether any new information relating to the death of Natalie Wood Wagner is valid, and that it comes from a credible source or sources other than those simply trying to profit from the 30-year anniversary of her tragic death. Jonathan Mann reporting.
No one from the Sheriff's Department has contacted Wagner or anyone in his family about the case so far. Australian police charge a male nurse with 4 counts of murder in connection with a deadly nursing home fire. That's our top story as we head around the world in 80 seconds.
Australia. Officials saying flames erupted in 2 separate locations in the building in Sydney and spread through the ceiling, causing part of the roof to cave in. Rescue crews evacuating more than 80 patients. China. Firefighters rescuing a woman in an eastern province after she fell 30 feet into a well. A man calling for help when he heard a voice in the wheat field where the well's located. One rescuer going in headfirst to tie a rope around the unconscious woman. It took several tries to get her out. She's now hospitalized in stable condition. Congo. National park officials inviting tourists to witness a volcano in action. The park gives transportation and a guided tour for around $300. You can camp overnight just 1 mile south of the eruptions, which began nearly 2 weeks ago. Scientists saying the action could last for months, sending lava an estimated 1,000 feet into the air. United Kingdom. Excitement running high among rugby fans as the English and Australian national teams gear up for Saturday's title match in the Four Nations tournament. 34,000 plus tickets sold, no seats left. It will be the final career game for Australia's star player. And that's a wrap on this Fox trip around the world in 80 seconds.
Well, we saw a pretty nice amount of snowfall today.
Yeah, and this video was shot earlier. Take a look at that. All right, more to come. Jason Zako's forecast is next.